Today I will pursue the theme of the sage, the holy man. This theme runs through a number of chapters of the Tao Te Ching and other Taoist texts. As we have seen, every religion portrays its ideal of the holy man. In Taoism, he is called the perfect man. Taoism's perfect man is our universal mystic. Taoist texts describe him as the man who could ascend the loftiest heights without fear, could enter the water and not get wet, could enter the fire and not get burned. Perfected people, they say, lean on a pillar that is never shaken, travel a road that is never blocked, are endowed from a resource that is never exhausted, and learn from a teacher that never dies. They are successful in whatever they undertake and arrive wherever they go. Whatever they do, they embrace destiny and go along without confusion. Calamity, fortune, profit, and harm cannot trouble their minds. They govern the inside, not the outside. Their attention is focused internally. They keep to the simplicity of wholeness and stand in the center of the quintessential. I invite you to probe with me now the perfect man and the questions he has answered on the mysteries of the Tao. How you can lean on a pillar that is never shaken and travel a road that is never blocked. How can you tap a resource that is never exhausted and learn from a teacher that never dies? How can you be successful in whatever you undertake and embrace your destiny? How can you govern the inside and go along without confusion? And how can you focus your attention internally and stand in the center of the quintessential? Well, we thought that the answers to these questions have come out of the current self-help books, and lo and behold, they are thousands upon thousands of years old. First, a little background. I say a little because the origins of Taoism are obscure. The 6th century BC Chinese sage Lao Tzu is traditionally named as the founder of Taoism, but we know next to nothing about him. Some even claim he is a legendary figure. Lao Tzu's name means old master or master Lao. It is a term of endearment and respect. China's first historian, Sima Qian, said that Lao Tzu held the position of shi in the royal court. In those days, a shi was a scholar who specialized in astrology and divination and was in charge of sacred books. Sima Qian also said that Lao Tzu was an older contemporary of Confucius. He related a meeting between the two men at which Lao Tzu chided Confucius for his pride, his excessive ambition, and overzealous drive to reform the world. Perhaps that is why Confucius is ascended and Lao Tzu is unascended. Confucius was so impressed by the old master that he compared him to a mysterious dragon who could not be caught and who ascended to heaven on the winds and clouds. Taoist tradition portrays Lao Tzu as a simple and assertive and profoundly mystical man. Although he is known as the founder of one of the world's great religions, Lao Tzu didn't preach. He didn't create a movement or an organization, and he didn't pass on his teachings to a group of followers. Legend has it that the sage, foreseeing the decay of his civilization, set off alone for the western frontier. The guardian of the mountain pass beseeched him to write down his teachings before retiring from the world. Lao Tzu left him a mere 5,000 words. Then he set off over the pass, never to be heard of again. Other legends say he headed west to convert the barbarians and to spread his teachings throughout Central and South Asia. As we enter into the visualization of seeing Lao Tzu, the humble man of few words, of perfect expression of the conundrums of life and appealing to those around him, we begin to feel warm in our hearts that we are approaching a friend and about to embark on a journey with him as he unfolded the mysteries of the Tao that came to him through that fire of the heart that is always the sign of the true mystic. The tiny book attributed to Lao Tzu, known as the Tao Te Ching, has become one of the most sacred works of the East. Next to the Bible, it has been translated more than any other book in the world. The Tao Te Ching is so enigmatic and mystical that over 1,500 commentaries have been written on it. Some scholars believe the book is really a collection of sayings by several authors, or that it contains the teachings of some ancient sage, possibly Lao Tzu, that were transmitted orally and written down in the 4th or 3rd century BC. The Tao Te Ching was originally known as the Lao Tzu. Later, an emperor of the Han Dynasty gave it the title Tao Te Ching, after the two main concepts of the book. Tao, meaning way, it is spelled T-A-O. De, meaning virtue or power, spelled T-E. Ching, spelled C-H-I-N-G. Ching is a label given to sacred books. Thus, the Tao Te Ching means classic of the way and its power. The Tao Te Ching is a how-to book. The 20th century translator and scholar Wing-Sit Chan says, 80% of the Tao Te Ching is devoted not to the substance of Tao, but to its function, particularly to its operation in society. Perhaps Taoism and its ancient teachers were the very first ones to present to us a path of true pragmatism. How does the universe work, and how do we work in the midst of the great Tao? The chief subject of the book is how to live. It includes teachings on ethics, government, and diplomacy. Much of the Tao Te Ching is addressed to the sage ruler. The sage ruler. Oh, for one sage ruler in the United States of America. Some therefore believe Lao Tzu was speaking to an elite group. But as Wing-Sit Chan points out, this is not the case. The sage, he says, is no more than an ideal person which everyone could become through practice of Tao. Here we have a religion and a thinker who is democratic before his time. Total democracy, each individually. One man rule, one woman rule, under his own vine and fig tree, under the great Tao.